Vector, Vector, Vector. Truly an underrated gem of a legend. Vector, when he was released, was taken a bit strangely. We hadn't had a Lance legend since Artemis at the time, and Bo seemed like a very strange combination with Lance. Sure, he might have been played for the first few weeks, as most legends are, but very soon after, Vector has become one of the least memorable legends in the game to most players. As for me, I actually really love Vector in almost every aspect of him. He's one of the very few Lance and Bo legends I truly enjoy playing. He feels unique in a way. What way, you may ask? SIGs. If you know anything about Vector, you know his SIGs are extremely creative, and honestly some of the most creative SIGs in the game. Are they the best though? Bo in SIG. I feel like this one is a bit overlooked. Vector transforms his arm and shoots a laser type shot upwards. Even though this is his worst Bo SIG, I don't think it's bad by any means. It's great for hitting directly above you in similar fashion to Koji or Muden's in SIG, just much more going on visually. I think it's a very powerful tool if you know how to use it correctly. Bo side sig doesn't seem like much from just looking at it, but trust me, it has great uses. Side sig alone goes a wicked distance, and I personally like to use it gravity cancelled coming back onto stage, or even slide charged. I find side light side sig to work well as dodge reads sometimes, although there's better options. I feel like I just have more to say on it, but I suppose not. It's a solid sig and it has its uses. Bo down sig is crazy good on Vector, and I'm dare to say it even needs a nerf. I get it though, Vector's signature kit isn't extremely strong. I'll let Vector mains have this one. Bo down sig hits on both sides of you, very nice get off me sig. I think the speed it comes out is absurdly quick, and if I fought Vector more, then I'd probably hate it more. But it's a beastly sig to fight if you're fighting a Vector main. This sig flows much better into Bo's light attack hit over the rest of his signatures as well, which is why I think it's his best sig overall. Going on to the Lance sigs, get ready to grab your popcorn. Lance in sig, while it does seem really janky, it does have its uses. Catch upward dodges overall with Lance in sig is extremely useful. Not a lot of Lance legends have an in sig with this much mobility. You can also use it to get back to stage or just stall out time in the air, which honestly is the most fun thing to do in the game. The amount of time you can stall out in the air with Insig is some of the most in the game, almost as much as the Thor Orb Downsig air stall that used to be in the game. Or maybe it still is, I don't really recall. Lance Insig feels wildly underappreciated, but this one is not broken. Lance Sidesig is a crazy good tool for catching outward dodges or just getting some good aggressive distance. Apart from that, it does seem a bit obscure, which is why I can see people saying it's not one of his greatest SIGs, but it definitely has potential. I wouldn't say as much as Insig, but it's there. Lance Downsig. I swear, I feel like it's always the Downsigs that are the most interesting parts of a Legend signature kit. This SIG is just, hands down, one of the worst SIGs in the game, without a doubt. The startup time is extreme, very slow, reactable, punishable, all that. It has almost no upsides to it. Notice I said almost no upsides. While Downsig does fall flat in a lot of categories, it's so crazy fun to use. Even when I'm fighting players of my skill level, or even just messing around in experimental, I love using Downsig on the edge of a stage, or even slide charging it off stage to make it much more unexpected or unpredictable. Even if the SIG is really bad competitively, I think it's really fun whenever we're just playing casually. So either way, I love it. Of course though, the better weapon for Vector would have to be Bow. I think Lance hits a bit harder, but Bow overall has a better structure, it flows well with itself, if that even makes any sense. Vector has his fair share of skins, and they definitely won't go unnoticed. No need to wait, let's dive right in. God tier has Default and Matchmaker Vector. I don't know why Default is such an honorable mention, it's just near perfection, a fantastic default skin in my opinion. Matchmaker Vector is by far the best skin for Vector. Very unique to the theme, and just overall excels in every department. Pretty good tier has Vector Model 01 and Dragonaut Vector. Vector Model 01 is very dark in terms of colors, mainly why I like it. It also has fitting weapons. Dragonaut I haven't seen a lot of really, but I like the theme thrown into it. He looks much more aggressive and the purple-green contrast looks very nice. Lastly, we have mid-tier with Hotshot Vector and Hyperdrive Vector. Hotshot was very unexpected when it was released. The idea I get for Heatwave is the beach, swimming, all that business. So seeing Vector appear as a type of airshow plane was a pleasant surprise. Not my favorite, but unique. Hyperdrive Vector reminded me of Transformers the most, but the yellow color really wasn't my type. The other two launch skins were much more appealing, but this one isn't bad. Overall, some pretty good skins. Tier list wise, out of S, A, B, C, and D, I want to place Vector in just a solid A tier. I think it's pretty obvious that Vector isn't broken, and he's not extremely weak either. While Bow is in a good spot in the current meta, Lance is just near balance, but absolutely killer in twos. His signature kit, while being very good in some departments, lacks heavily in other ones. Not anything terribly weak, not terribly broken. Do his stats change that in any way? Well, they definitely aren't bad. 5 attack, 4 dex, 6 defense, and 7 speed. Very great stat lineup actually, considering Bow and Lance are weapons that excel with high speed, and Vector honestly doesn't have any problems killing. Good defense lineup, and the low dex is perfect for him as it really doesn't change how he's played. Lance and Bow don't benefit off it anyways. If anything, I would go for any stance besides dex. Attack takes out of dex, which is overall just the best play to do. Defense takes out of attack, leaving you a bit low on that, but it's much more defensive. Speed takes out on defense, which honestly is a psychopath move, but if it works, then it works. And then dex takes out of speed. With dex stance, you're kind of putting a handicap on yourself. So yeah, the stats actually make Vector a very good legend. If he had higher dexterity or just like worse stats overall, I could see myself placing him in B tier. Although his play rate still sinks into the ground. It's definitely been the lowest before, but 0.7% is slightly up from where it was prior. Apart from release, you never really see it above 1%. It's a shame, really. He feels like Sentinel in a way. Super underrated, but actually has potential to be a wrecking machine. People just never tend to realize it unless they see a Vector main or just see some pro playing him. Overall, people really don't like him, but that doesn't mean I don't. He's one of my favorite legends to look at design-wise, and honestly, I just appreciate him for being underrated. Maybe one day somebody will pick him up and he'll gain popularity. Like that'll ever happen. But we can only hope. Thanks for watching this legend analysis, and we've only got 3 more to go. There's really only a few guesses you can make, considering I've done almost every other legend. Regardless, get to guessing, and of course, keep on brawling.